In today's video, we are going to talk about the lies we are sold around safety and success and why regulation comes first. Because most people believe that safety comes after success. Once I make more money, I'll feel safe. Once I get my life together, then I'll relax. Once I become more disciplined, then I'll be calm. We are taught that rest is earned, that peace is conditional, that safety is something that you work towards, not something that you start from. But here's what your nervous system knows that the culture forgot. It's not reading your resume, it's reading your heartbeat right now. In this moment, your body is deciding whether you are surviving or supported, whether you are under threat or held, whether it is safe to exhale. And that single misunderstanding, that backwards belief, is why so many capable and motivated people feel stuck, exhausted, disconnected, even though they are doing everything right. So let's talk about this core lie, the cultural conditioning. Let me show you what we have been sold. We are taught that safety is a reward, a prize at the end of a very long race, something that you get once you've proven yourself, once you've achieved enough, once you've earned enough. Hustle culture told us to grind now and rest later. Productivity culture told us that our worth is measured by our output. And even self-help told us to push through, to level up, to optimize into the best versions of ourselves. And none of it mentioned that you cannot build a house on a foundation that is still shaking. Here is a shocking headline from October 2025. American workforce burnout reaches a 6-year high. 82% of employees are now at risk for burnout. Let that sink in. 8 out of 10 people. Not because they're lazy, not because they are weak, because they are trying to build a future in a body that doesn't feel safe. Gen Z is hitting peak burnout at 25 years old. 25! That is 17 years earlier than the previous generation. And the problem isn't that you want more. The problem isn't ambition. The problem is that you are trying to build a life while your nervous system is screaming that it is not safe. Like trying to paint a masterpiece while the building is on fire. And nobody told us that this was backwards. Here's the biological truth. Here's what actually is happening in our body. When the nervous system doesn't feel safe, our focus narrows to the size of a pinhole. Creativity shuts down like a door slamming. Everything feels urgent. Every decision feels heavy. Every task feels like survival. This isn't a mindset. This isn't a mental block that you can positive think your way out of. This is survival psychology. Your nervous system governs everything. How you perceive the world, how you make decisions, how much energy you have access to. And when it's stuck in survival mode, when it's operating from a place of constant threat, it doesn't matter how much you want to change. Because the body is running a program that is designed for one thing: keeping you alive. Not creative, not joyful, not fulfilled, alive. Safety isn't something that the nervous system negotiates for later. It is the condition required for everything else to work. You cannot build clarity from chaos. You cannot make aligned decisions in a panic. You cannot plant a garden in the middle of a storm. Regulation isn't indulgent, it is regulatory. It is the operating system that your entire life runs on. And if that system is dysregulated, nothing you build on top of it will hold. We are living in a dysregulated world. And here is the part that nobody talks about. Even if you regulate yourself, you are still swimming upstream in a river that keeps going faster. Because we are not just trying to regulate our own nervous systems. We are trying to do it in a world that is designed to keep us just slightly overwhelmed, just slightly rushed, constantly reachable. Think about it. Notifications that never stop, emails that require immediate response, financial systems that demand that you are always earning, always producing, always proving your worth, performance metrics tied to your value as a human being, speed framed as a virtue, and busyness is worn as a badge of honor. This isn't conspiracy, this is systemic design. This is capitalism. We are trying to find our footing on a treadmill that speeds up every time we catch our breath. A recent study found that 72% of US employees face moderate to high stress at work. That is 3 out of 4 people. And only 48% of employees actually feel like their workplace cares about their mental health. And that's down from 54% just 1 year ago. The world is genuinely more demanding, more relentless, more extractive. So if regulation feels fragile the moment you re-enter your life, if you find yourself calm for a moment and then immediately back in survival mode, that doesn't mean regulation didn't work. It means you notice the contrast. It means your body is showing you what safety looks like and what the absence of safety feels like. And that awareness, it's not failure. That is the beginning. So this is why grounding comes first. This is where everything starts to make sense. Grounding is not about escaping your life. It is not about retreating from the world. It is about changing the internal conditions from which you operate from. Because here's what most people don't understand. Safety precedes clarity, not the other way around. You cannot think your way into safety. You cannot discipline yourself into regulation. The body has to feel it first, and then, only then, can the mind follow. This is the sequence. Safety to clarity, and clarity to choice, and choice to sustainable success. Not success to safety. That is backwards. That is the lie we have been sold. And that is why so many people work so hard and still feel like they are running in place. When people skip ground, when they jump straight from burnout into building, they don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they are trying to construct a life on a foundation that never stabilized. It's like building a skyscraper on sand. The structure might look impressive for a while, but after that first storm, it collapses. Not because the design was bad, but because the ground wasn't solid. So what actually shifts when you get this? When you finally get that safety comes first? Let me tell you what changes internally. Decisions feel quieter, not easier necessarily, but quieter, less urgent, less life or death. And boundaries feel less dramatic. You're not defending yourself anymore. You're just honoring what your body needs. And rest feels logical, not guilty. You stop treating it like laziness and you recognize it as maintenance, as sacred. And then desire returns without force. You don't have to manufacture motivation. It comes back naturally when the body feels safe enough to want again. Ambition shifts from panic to clarity. You're not running from something anymore. You are moving toward something. And that changes everything. Grounding doesn't make you less ambitious. It doesn't make you soft or passive or unmotivated. It makes your ambition come from clarity instead of panic, from wholeness instead of lack, from a body that feels safe enough to create, not a body that is just trying to survive. So here's what I need you to understand. Choosing ground is not opting out of the world. It's not giving up. It's not surrendering in a way that you have been taught to fear. Choosing ground is opting out of survival as a baseline. It's saying, I deserve to feel safe in my body. I deserve to build from a place of regulation, not desperation. I deserve to live, not just survive. This is self-leadership, not rebellion, not selfishness, self-leadership. Because nobody else was going to give you permission to prioritize your own nervous system. The culture won't, your job won't, even the people you love might not understand. Your body has been waiting for you to notice, to slow down, to acknowledge that you can't keep running on empty and calling it living. Ground is where we reclaim this. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, steadily, one regulated breath at a time. Grounding is where safety returns. And once safety is present, once your body finally exhales and feels held, we can move into the next step, into feeling. Not managing emotions, not controlling them, just feeling them. Actually reconnecting to the full spectrum of what it means to be alive. You do not build a life you love by overriding your nervous system. You build it by bringing your body back into safety first. And that is where everything begins. Here is what most people fear. If I slow down, everything I've been avoiding will hit me. If I let myself feel, I will fall apart. So they stay busy, numb, intellectualizing, always thinking, but never feeling. But here is the truth. Your emotions don't disappear when you ignore them. They're not gone. They're waiting for safety, waiting for a nervous system that is regulated enough to hold them. And that is why feel comes after ground. Because feeling without safety, that's flooding. Feeling with safety, that's flow. Your emotions are not the problem. They were just never given a safe place to land. And that is what changes in the next step. Once ground creates the container, feeling restores the connection to pleasure, to desire, to grief without collapse, to joy without guilt. The feel step, it's not about breaking open. It's about coming back online. It's about remembering that your body is not just a machine for productivity. And the aliveness, it is an instrument for aliveness. And aliveness requires feeling, not as a threat, but as guidance. Ground creates safety, and feeling restores connection. And everything we build next flows from there. This is the Paradise Path, and you are exactly where you are meant to be.